Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ireland Live for Tuesday, the 22nd of April, 2025. We're nearly at the protest. The protest is nearly upon us, the 26th. I'll be playing a video on that now in a while. I also have a few things to talk about there as well. Garden Remembrance, the whole lot. So I've loads of different stuff to play tonight now, I have to say. Orla will be with me now in a few minutes. So I actually added videos, but the videos were added in the wrong place. So I'm just adding them there now again. So yeah, but how's everyone? As I said, welcome. I'll just read a couple of the comments. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Anthony. Anthony's not with us, but I'm sure he'll be on in a while. I hope everyone had a good Easter. Yeah, we all did. Thanks very much. Very quiet. No sound. Let me just check there and I'll see what the audio is. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, the sound seems to be working here fine for me. Can anyone else give us a thumbs up on sound? I'm just looking here now. Just pulling down a few of these. But as I said, the 26th, this Saturday, 2 p.m. Get to the Garden of Remembrance, please. Bring everybody with you. Everybody you know. I'm getting messages from all around the country. People are going and they're bringing their brothers, their sisters, their family. And we had that Cllr Clarkson, one of these so-called influencers, come out yesterday, the day before. Don't go to it. I'll be playing that now in a while. I'll pull that over. As I said, I had a bit of it, and I was actually, we were on a call there for something else before. So, yeah. What I am going to go with now, I have to, I won't go to two-tier policing yet. I'll wait till Orla comes on for that. But, yeah, let's have a look there. Hello, people. Sounds good. I'm with me teddy bears. Fair play to you. But, yeah, as I said, the videos weren't pulled down. But I'm going to play this one now. This is from Andy Quirk. This is the work this man is doing here now. There's a GoFundMe as well. I'll find it later and put it up there as well. But this man is doing Trojan work with these flags. So have a look at this. This is actually brilliant. I'm fair. Big shout out to Andy. Hello, Orla. How are you?
Hi, Paul. How are you?
All good. Fair play to Andy there. Everyone's putting it in there. Well done, Andy. Bring them through Dublin. Michael John is asking there, is he in Dublin, Paul? Yes, he is. He used to have his own show. He was really, really successful. Damo and Iva. It was brilliant. Go Google it now. You'll find. Go Google it now. And look for it on YouTube and the whole lot, and you'll find it very hard to find it. You know what I mean? You have to really go looking to get it. My niece did it for me a while ago. And I used to love all that years ago with him. You know what I mean? But now
you know my favourite episode, because I actually messaged him over and he sent me the photograph of it. It's when Damo robs the cop car. Oh, my God. That was just brilliant, that episode. I swear to God, I laughed so much. I want to message Andy over. He actually sent me the photograph of it. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
But fair play to him.
Yeah. Well, listen, as I said, I think he still has the GoFundMe. I'll check with him to see has he the GoFundMe, and I'll post it in the comments if I can. But listen, I was collecting flags off Andy when he was doing it out of his own pocket. You know what I mean? And that man sent an awful lot of flags around this country. Like, you look at nearly all the flags that's on the motorways at the end of the month, every month, he's probably at the sending all of them. And fair play to him, I have to say. He's a true good lad, I have to say. And I'll see you on Saturday, Andy. I'll help distribute them flags as well. So I'll be there early. So I'll give you a dig out. Fair play to Andy. Yeah, fair play. Church burnt down in Donegal. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Jesus, that's bad, isn't it? Hi, Orla.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, John.
How are you, John? How's things? Yeah, I'd love to see the Irish drag queen doing an Irish Patriot tag look. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I was looking on the what you call it there, the church in Donegal. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
2 churches.
2 churches, yeah. Like this is getting far too common between, you know. Jesus Christ, let me just.
And they're only like a day or 2 apart. And the one in Dublin, Anchor Hill, is it? Was yesterday, Easter Monday.
Yeah, I seen that. I'm just gonna have a look at this one first. This is the one in Donegal. And then we suppose so. And they're blaming that one on a priest forgot to blow out a candle. No, come on. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Hi, no, that's John. Sorry. Yeah, but like, that is just horrific. And then the other one was in town somewhere, wasn't it?
I sent it on to you. Yeah,
I have it there, I'm sure. Yeah, let me have a look.
It's I think it's an Anchor Hill. It's called Arbor Hill. Sorry, Arbor Hill.
Oh, Arbor Hill. Yeah, that's where it was. Yeah. Yeah, Arbor Hill. That's where it was. The lad said he might come on now in a while. But pigs might fly.
But read it. I just thought it was
I'm
quite
reading it now. Yeah, I'm reading it. The latest Irish church fire took place at the Church of the Sacred Heart, Arbor Hill. This is where the leaders of the 1916 Rising are buried. The fire started on Easter Monday, the day that the Rising began. Now, I think there's another one.
Bit of a coincidence, isn't it?
And there's this one. Investigation launched as much loved Donegal church gutted by fire. Firefighters at the emergency services fought gallantly to save St. Mary's Church in Derrybeg overnight. I posted a couple of months ago. As you go into Clonee, there's a Virgin Mary statue there, you know, like a grotto. It's beautiful. Like, people stop and pray and what have you. And they had fuck Jesus and this shit wrote all around it where people had to walk in, like, you know what I mean? I took a picture of it and I actually sent it to I actually went in and showed the priest, and what can you do? You know what I mean? That's more or less the shrug of the shoulders I got, like, you know what I mean? What can you do? There should be public outrage over this.
Well, there should be, yes.
But this is not just kids doing this. Kids never did this. Like, how many times have you in your whole life ever seen courses on a holy statue? Or you've never seen it. I've never seen it.
No.
So it's not just
Who's
kids,
doing it?
people, you know what I mean? Yeah, who is doing it? You know, you can't go blaming people. I understand that, but there's actual videos of them actually doing stuff in graveyards and everything else. So yeah, you can blame people.
But it's happening, Paul, all over Europe. There's loads of churches been burnt down all over Europe. And I put it up earlier on, not even that long, only a few hours ago. And I think I've got 94 shares or 95 shares already on it. I didn't actually expect the post to do as well as it did. You know, so it's hitting home.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people are waking up now. But like, you have to look at, like, that place was where the leaders of the 1906 Rising are buried.
And it goes
They're
on
buried.
fire. Bit of a coincidence.
And it goes on fire on the day that it was signed. And like, it's, come on, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
There's no such thing as coincidences, lads. Come on, like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the attacks on everyone. I mean everyone. Anyone I know in the movement at the minute that's anyway gaining traction or that is helping people or doing shit are being attacked left, right, and center. But other people have been left alone. So listen, what does that tell you, people? You know what I mean? What does that tell you? Like, you know, Paul Murphy got hockeyed over on
Happy
Facebook.
Sanders.
I seen that, yeah.
Mm.
Father Ted, there's a big mosque in Dublin. There's mosques all over this country.
Mhm.
And these churches burning down now, they'll just put mosques in their place. Like, you know what I mean? That's what they'll do. That's what they've done in the UK. A lot of churches were turned into mosques.
Mhm.
Easy, wasn't it? You know, it's crazy. The church where the Crusades were destroyed, historical, so important. No outrage. Exactly, no outrage. There's no outrage for any of this stuff. You know what I mean? And we've seen them. We've seen graves being desecrated. You know, we've seen it. Like, the videos are out there. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
people? So, you know, come on. We are being taken over here. I'm being honest with you. Like, you know what I mean? Bishop Regano. Is it Bishop Regano? No. I'm actually gonna see if I got that there. I think I have. And I'm gonna play that. The Pope actually died the other day. I didn't really do much reporting on it, to be honest with you. Here's what it
But
is.
he's
He
not my
was a
Pope.
globalist. He was a globalist. You know, he was a globalist.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, we featured the photograph of him down on his knees kissing the feet of Muslim leaders.
yeah,
I need to say no more.
it's true. Yeah, I'm just looking to see if I got it
You're the
here.
head of the Catholic Church. Do you think they would do that the other way around? Absolutely no way.
No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. I'm just gonna play this guy here. I'll share this. This is well worth a listen.
This is very serious. Now we are witnessing an invasion. They are not refugees. No, this is an invasion of mass Islamization of Europe, which already went on for at minimum 50, 60 years, Islamization in Europe. But now it is in mass. It is very evident. And so this is a global political agenda by the powerful of the world to destroy Europe culturally and religiously. I mean, to destroy Christianity ultimately in Europe, with the help of the massive Islamic population. And I was reading recently an article of a sociologist who made a calculation that maybe in 30 or 40 years, when it's now going on, so the majority of the population of Europe will be Islamic. Europe will be Islamic when this will go on, because the European people have almost no children, one or two. The Muslims there, they have 5, 6 to 10 children. And so it is, you can only make mathematics, and then you can see that they will be in the majority.
So there you go. I put up that video yesterday. Somebody sent it to me, and I put it up yesterday saying Catholics. The heading on it was Catholics around the world speak up. You know what I mean? They want this man as, and of course, all I got was, where did you get that report? There's no Catholics saying this, and there's no, like, it was more a statement than anything else that this is the man who's talking out about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
War is inevitable, but if it's left too late, victory is not assured. Okay, John Paul II. John Paul, yeah. I seen him twice. I want Robert Sarah as new Pope. I don't know who he is. Sorry, who is this guy? He speaks sense. I don't know who he's talking to. Me, is it? Sean, I never seen a white kid on schools was getting out. Like I'm gonna post up as well on I actually posted up the Conor McGregor interview because I didn't actually watch the whole interview. You know the way you get it in segments. You know what I mean? And I sat down not yesterday, the day before, and I pulled it down and I threw it up onto the YouTube channel. They've since taken it down. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't name it anything. I just named it Tucker and Conor Talk. You know, and it got a load of hits, and then sure it's gone now. I can't see it anymore. You know what I mean? But so that's why I put it up there, so as people could just watch the whole 55 minutes, whatever of it. I thought he was very sincere. Now I really did. It wasn't. I didn't find it scripted in any way, and he did speak an awful lot of sense. And Carlson seemed to know an awful lot of what was going on too. You know what I mean?
I haven't seen it all either. Like, I just haven't had a chance.
Yeah, and then the Freemason crowd coming out saying that they didn't let them book, that they just booked it and they didn't know. And listen, I don't know. Maybe they knew, maybe they didn't know. But listen, the messenger has got the word out now. You know what I mean? So I think shooting the messenger is not good. You know what I mean? I think he has a platform. He everything. He has the whole lot. You know what I mean? Tucker Carlson, I think, has 15 million people are going to watch this and see this. You know, so listen, the diaspora are seeing what's going on in the country. Like they'll start ringing up now. They'll start ringing up now saying, "Ma, what's going on?" Or Auntie Mary, what's going on there? How's your town? And then they'll be told, "Oh, shit, there's thousands. Shit, we're all dying off, and they're moving in all of these fellas." You know what I mean? And then people will start talking, and that's what we need to do is get people talking. You know what I mean?
Well, as somebody said on here a couple of shows ago, they said it's not about the messenger; it's about the message getting out there, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to pull this one down. Pull it down a minute. We'll read a few more. Bishop Schneider, that's who that is. Yeah, it's not. Sorry, John. Yeah, it's people. Somebody said Cardinal Regano. It's not. It's Bishop Schneider. That's who it is. And someone pointed out to me yesterday he can't become Pope because he's not a Cardinal. So, hey, we could change the rules. Then somebody sent me another picture of Conor McGregor as Pope. So,
I saw that. Yeah.
And I posted maybe RTE or maybe the media and the government to leave him alone. Now we have to get this. Yeah. I'm getting texts in there off people, so let me have a look. Yeah, that's the church.
Yeah, somebody Liz is there saying about Donegal. Yeah, I heard it's fairly bad now up there.
Jesus Christ. See, this is happening. That's Portugal now. One of the lads just sent that in to me. This is Portugal. Oh, see it there. Look, the San Lazaro cross in Portugal was built in 1486 and stood for centuries until it was destroyed by Pakistani immigrants. You know.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but look at the tombs that went on fire here last year, you know, or 2 years ago. Your man that did that, you know. It's
and again, like Portugal is a Catholic country.
Exactly, but these are all landmarks. Like where that fire was yesterday is where the 19th they're buried. Like, you know, come on, like, you know what I mean. If that's not telling you something really big is afoot here against us, I don't know what is. You know what I mean. That's like rubbing your face in it. That's like telling you we don't give a shit about you. You know what I mean. And let's hope there's plenty of marshals there as well to marshal the crowd there on Saturday as well. I'm sure Malachy and whoever else is organising it will have marshals and everyone else in the yellow jackets. I think I'll be wearing the blue Shinnin and Dina one along with my tie and my short and tie. So yeah.
Oh, you're not wearing your special black T-shirt with all the writing on it?
No, I don't think it's a time and a place for that. You know what I mean? We can during the summer we'll pull that one out again. Yeah, I like that one. I do like that. You know, but I'm just going to play this one here. This is the Garden of Remembrance. So this is just for Saturday.
Jesus, that was last May.
Do you remember that? Do you remember me? I was at the front. Do you remember?
I saw myself there, yeah.
I was doing the live stream. I was at the Cllr says now, but right at the front. It was brilliant.
I was telling you lot all what to do.
Yeah. See, I went on my own. Do you remember? You all stayed with the party. I didn't. That's why I'm in none of the picture, the party with you when you were walking down. Because I was at the front with the Cllr
we were
says
trying
no.
to keep the distance from the other parties ahead of us, you know. And we got great coverage because of it. Like, and do you know what? It was an absolutely brilliant day. I have to say, it was fantastic.
Yeah. Well,
come here. Can you send the link to Tom McDonnell? He's looking to come on. I just see a message come up.
I haven't got Tom's number. Have you Tom's number?
Hang
on, I might have it. Where's Martin? Are they coming on? Is it just him coming on?
I don't know. I just seen Sarah put it up. Even can you send the link? Oh, no, I've sent the link on to Sarah. Wonder if she's watching the show. Because I'm using the phone. Will you just text Sarah and just say, look, there's the link, send it on. Because I sent it to her. I don't have Tom's number.
I don't. I might have in the group, in the AC group. As the numbers build, things are going to get a lot worse. I'll bring him in now in a few minutes. We need to get them out. My kids will not be going to any mosque. I hate this government. Everyone does, Brendan. Everyone does. And as Brendan said there, if you have a problem with this, Brendan, you need to come out on Saturday, as does everyone else. If you have a problem with homelessness, if you're one of the people who's sleeping in your ma's back bedroom with a child and your missus, you need to come out on Saturday. If you know somebody that's happening to you, you need to come out on Saturday, because they don't talk about these people. They don't talk about you and how you're finding it hard to sleep in your ma's and do whatever. And you're not on the list because you have somewhere to stay, and they're bringing all of these people and giving them houses. Like, you know, it's not on. People need to come out Saturday.
I sent on the video there on the Indians with the new keys of the house.
Yeah, hang on there. Did I download that? Somebody else sent that on to me as well, I think. Where is it? Well, that's what they're doing now. You know what I mean?
And I was just wondering, because it didn't say, you know, is the house a council house? Because it doesn't say what sort of a house it is. So did they buy it, or is it a council house?
I wouldn't say they bought it now.
Either way, it doesn't matter. They're still taken away from an Irish person.
But now they want to downsize your ma's gaff and give your ma, you know, Jesus lads, I never put this up.
Well, as I said yesterday in my post, a while ago it was let's all protect Granny, and now it's let's get Granny out of her house.
Yeah, lads, we're at the hitting 700 there, because I'm at the yapping there, like, and I forgot all about the 300 mark. But yeah, you can WhatsApp us there. People are WhatsApping me there. You can WhatsApp us there.
And I was saying, like, at the end of the day, you know, elderly people have all worked, you know, most of their lives to pay for their houses. The government has no right to turn around and dictate to them, you know, that they can't live there anymore, you know, or kind of indicate it. You know, it doesn't matter if they're living in a goddamn mansion, there's 20 rooms. It's their house. They do what they want. If they choose themselves, that's fine if they want to downsize. But even if they're living in a mansion, it's their house that paid for it.
Hello there, James. How are you?
Hello, how are you doing?
Oh, Jesus,
good in yourself.
How's things in Sligo?
Not too bad. I'm going to turn on the light just in case.
Yeah.
You didn't recognise you there for a second in the dark.
How are you keeping?
Here, James. He's taking the piss out of your Sligo accent, so you start taking the piss out of his Dublin one.
Nobody can take the piss out of Dublin accents. People understand us.
Oh! I wouldn't let that go now, James.
What's the story? How's things?
They're good. What's it called? What? Go on.
No, go on. You'll be up on Saturday for the march, will we? For the protest or whatever, the commemoration.
I won't know. I'll be at the garden that day, so I will.
Yeah.
Hey.
There'll be enough of us. But
yeah, well, I didn't approve I didn't approve of the meeting in the Masons Hall now. That was enough for me, so it was.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
That's it.
But listen, I don't know. You know what I mean? Was it symbolic? Was it by accident? Was it like there's a lot of variables there? You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? But I think the message is still at the getting out. I watched the whole video and I thought that the actual interview wasn't scripted. It was good. Whether they knew where they were and it was a fuck you, I don't know. You tell me what you think. Councillor Tom McDonnell, how are you?
Oh, hey, Tom, how are you?
Good. I'm good. Good. Yeah, well, we don't know. Sorry, I don't know what if, maybes, or whatever. But as I've been saying to people all week,
Has his mic off, I'd say.
huh?
No, I can hear him.
I can hear him.
Yeah. I'll just check my mic there, Mike.
No, you're okay. I can hear you.
Yeah,
No, I can
okay.
hear you.
No, but everyone's looking at different equations. What happened? You know, did Maliki know? Did whatever? So we can go on and we can wreck our heads forever, and we'll never get anywhere as an organisation. You just have to write bumps. We're on the world platform now, lads. We were Backstreet News only a week ago. This day last week, we were Backstreet News. We're in our own small echo chambers, talking among ourselves on our own little spaces. Now, we've gone viral around the world. Yeah, since since Connor come on the scene, and since Tucker come on the scene, right? We've been played, whatever. We just move on. We're going in the right direction because we're living in a fascist state. We're being suppressed all the time. Like it's completely orientatarian. The things have been run. How do you run a fascist state? You control the media. That's how you run it. You control the opposition. You suppress the opposition, and that's what we're part of in Ireland, or era, as I should call it. And that's where we are. So, how do you get out of that? How do you get away from a suppressed media? Conor McGregor has given us that lift now, and we're now world news. We're on the big platform. We're out of those little echo chambers now. So I think it's a very much a plus. And if anyone in the movement is saying it's not, you've been played. There's no one has handcuffs on us. There's no one holding us to anything. If we're not happy with people as we go along, we disconnect. So I think we're very lucky to be where we are now from where we were this day last week. That's my take on it, you know.
I agree on that as well, yeah. James has gone off there. I don't know what happened. His internet must be gone.
He's coming in and out.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
But we were just saying this earlier on, Tom. Like we were just saying, you know, it's not about the messenger. It's about the message getting out.
Exactly.
And Gregor's done it. And then Tucker Carlson's done it.
Yeah. We were Backstreet News. We were suppressed. Now, we're still suppressed at national and local. But we're getting into there's probably 20 million, I don't know, Irish in England or whatever, with Irish blood or whatever. There's so many of them over there. And in America, Canada, Australia, all these lads that are away, like my sons and that, they look at Tucker Carlson, they look at Rogan, your man, Joe Rogan, they look at those shows. Young lads all look at those shows. And we're coming out of our little echo chambers. It took us 4 years, whatever, but we're out of them. So we should be delighted, really. If we've been played or whatever, we don't know. We're innocent, so we have to play. We're not into anything that's going to inhibit us going forward. If we're not happy going forward with certain people, we just discard them and that's it and move on. Keep moving forward. That's the way I look at it.
Hey, Martin.
How's Martin?
Hi, Martin.
How are we all doing tonight? I only
good.
came on for some accommodation advice. Where's good to stay?
Where?
In Dublin Saturday night.
I tell you what, right? If you stick a little bit of blackface on you, you'll get anywhere. The Abyss, the one up at Clondalk, and any of them hotels. Just walk in and tell them,
Saya,
hello, mate.
Clondalkin.
The Red Cow?
Yeah.
Red Cow,
Yeah, the
Red
Red
Cow's
Cow,
good.
yeah.
It's close to where. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And if
Martin, will you check with James? Because he's coming in and out, so I don't know whether his internet is bad. I don't have his number handy. So I'm on the phone.
I was on another meeting. James who? James what?
James Conway.
James
He was on
Conway
here a few
came in
minutes
there
ago, but
and
he's
went
coming
down.
on. Will you just check in and just see if has he a problem with the internet or something like that? Because he barely got to talk and then he was in and out.
There's someone there posting in there. I was offered money by NGO to cause trouble. Ireland pacifist. I think I seen something from you up here a minute ago.
Okay.
Ireland pacifist. There it is. There. I was approached by an NGO affiliate who has relations with a charity I volunteer with, and they were asking if I wear a black hood and pants and get on the bus with them for the protest. Huh. You're gonna get this, lads. People are gonna try and infiltrate. And what I will say to everyone, make sure all your cameras are on and recording at all times. Just hold it in your hand. Just make sure, because the guards are going to try and tell you that you can't do this and you can't do that. It's not law yet. You can do whatever you
I'll
want to in a
just
public
say
place.
straight away, God have mercy on anybody who comes near me in a black face covering and black pants. God have mercy on you. And I kind of dare you to as well. I met these people before. I was down in Waterford looking at them, the Antifa crowd. Wouldn't even look me in the eye.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, but I think
they'll be big in groups, but guess what? Our group is going to be much, much, much bigger, and none of us are going to be wearing masks.
Yeah, but as Paul has done security there for years and all that, so he knows the crack. You know, fellas will come up to you and whatever. You just got to be solid. You hold together, you stick your chest out, and you don't engage, and that's it. It's if they're looking for engagement, it's the last thing you do, because that goes into a nightmare. You know, very quick. So you just take it as agitators, and you keep solid. If we meet down, Paul, we were just saying we're going to meet or whatever, and we get organised beforehand. So and we basically go in at military precision, that we'll hold the line and we don't let boys in by you. Keep within an arm's reach of everyone, and don't let people in amongst you. And if people are coming, as you say, have the phone the whole time. You have the phones up live all the time, so you're well protected, you know, as regards laws and the court and all that. And if anyone comes at you with a mask on, and they're actually, just pull the mask off them, you know, and pull
now,
whatever.
in saying that, there is, I have to say this as well, because I didn't say it the last time. There is guys that do wear masks because they have jobs and they're afraid to show their faces. So, you know, like we have to say that. But like 9 out of 10 of them will tell you. 9 out of 10 of them will tell you who they are.
I have to disagree with you now at this stage, Paul.
Okay.
If you're still hiding behind a mask at this stage of the game now, sorry, just go home. Stop coming. Stop coming. If you're not brave enough to show your face, stop coming. I don't care about people. People say, I lost my job. You get over it, you get another job. I know. If you want to fight, you have to accept that you're going to have to fight. It's as simple as that. There's no more half measures, and our side should not wear masks.
Yeah,
we should be afraid of and nothing to be ashamed of.
I agree with Martin there, yeah. Anyone that's coming up or turning up with a mask to stay at home, because they're no good to themselves and they're cowards anyway, you know, because it's cost us all work. It's cost me a savage amount of work, all this crack. So, yeah, I wouldn't entertain anybody wearing a mask to come near the protest, and I would put that out too. Say, don't be wearing masks if you're that worried about showing your face, standing up for your country, for your children, your grandchildren. Stay fucking at home. Don't engage with us. We're not interested in you, because this is a national emergency. We are in a serious, serious situation in this country, and we're not doing anything wrong. It's a peaceful protest, and we walk as a peaceful protest. And as I say, hold the line. Don't let people in among you. Don't let them in, and have your phones on. As Paul says, he knows the crack. He's done security all his life, and he knows the crack. Fellas come in around you. You don't engage with them. Just hold the line. Bar they're really striking you, you know. And you have your phones on. Yeah. So if you have your phone on, you'd make citizens arrest there and then. Just fucking put his hand behind his back, and that's it, you know. And
hear the snap.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, but just hold them. You can just wrap them and Just hold them and arrest them. Do a citizen's arrest and whatever, yeah. But do not engage in fighting, because that's you're gone straight away. You're gone.
Yes, exactly. And we've seen this today with what they done with the Palestinians. I might have it. Have I got it there from today? Where am I?
Tom, I don't know if you saw it. There was a comment there from Chris a few minutes ago saying that his mother had listened to your interview on Cllr FM and agreed with everything you said.
Very good. Well done. I can't see the comments. I can barely see the television.
Yeah. And then James,
you're all a blur.
Michael Dennis says you're very handsome.
Oh, don't know James Conway there.
Yeah, for James. He normally fancies Paul, but I think he's now favoured over to James.
You can take that mantle there, James.
James, how's all on the farm in Sligo?
Very good. The seeds that we planted the last day are all starting to come up now. Hens is laying well. Everything is going very well, and we're just doing bits of building work then along with it. So yeah, everything is good. And the 3rd of May, we're having a meet up down here. We're going to do a bridge building event. We'll make a new footbridge across the Cllr River. It'll be the first footbridge that's been renewed on it, probably since the 50s or 60s. So that'll be available then for fishermen and stuff like that to use. And then we're going doing a Baltina celebration after that. And then that night, we're going to go down to the Flying Horse for a card game. All of the members of Conway's Farms and stuff like that have agreed collectively that we're going to have our first 25 card game in the Flying Horse after the bridge building event. And then one weekend every month, we'll have a different card game all around Ireland until we have a card game in every province. And then in May, we have our first weekend on another farm. Couple in Leitrim are starting another farm where they live along with them. And yeah, going good. Everything is going good, thank God. Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Brilliant. I can't wait to get up now and have a bit of crack. I heard the camping was good crack. So I started camping last year. So yeah, I'm all for it this year.
Yeah, it'll be good. And the weather isn't too bad here, thank God. It's a little bit rainy the last day or so, but not as bad as other parts of the country. So that's good. So the land is pretty dry, thank God.
That's good. Yeah. Now, James, when Paul comes up there, do show him around. Show him what the cattle look like, because he's probably never seen one in real life. You know, show him what the sheep look like, and show him what a field look like.
You would be so surprised. I'm telling you now. You have no idea.
Like me. I'm from Cavan. I grew up on a farm.
I'm the Highlander. I lived in Cavan for 7 years. Like, you know what I mean? I know. I was surrounded by farmers. The blatant smell of them. And will you stop? I knew.
Yeah. The smell of them.
I know. No, but like these fellas never played and washed themselves. Like, these fellas were out day and night, you know, shoveling shite and doing all sorts. Like, they done everything themselves. You know what I mean? No, not the life for me, lads. Not the life for me.
It's a good fresh smell.
Listen, I used to get the smell all the time. My nose was nearly born down me from the bleeding smell. So
born down you.
I live beside the piggery in Baileyborough. Jesus.
Oh God, right. Okay, that's different.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow. So yeah, I know the smell of shite when I smell shite, lads. Trust me. Yeah.
Well, there you go now, James. When he comes up, you can put him to work. Give him a pair of wellies and a shovel, and off he goes.
Before you go, if anyone's going to go there, go on. Before anyone goes there, I'm just going to play this 2-tier policing thing that I have, okay? And we'll come back and just talk for a minute.
Working here, and we pay it twice. We pay it through the taxes that supports this organization, and we pay it through our license fees. The people who signed.
Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! There's only one solution! Intifada revolution! There's only one solution! Intifada revolution! There's only one solution! Intifada revolution! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Now, could you, okay, close your eyes there, and could you imagine if that was Gavin Pepper standing on top of that thing with that thing? He wouldn't be there for too long, like myself
No.
or yourself or anyone else
I
here.
was at an event in Dublin yesterday. Small enough crowd. Later reached the GPO. Went to walk from the GPO to the Garden of Remembrance. And 3 guards tried to physically remove the group from the road. They're like not causing a traffic obstruction, not blocking loose lines, nothing, no shouting. It was just quite congregation of people peacefully walking on the road. 3 Gardaí tried to remove them from the road, and now luckily they pushed the wrong people. And
Okay,
those people
can I play that? I
Do you have
have
it?
that
Yeah, oh,
there.
brilliant,
Yes, I
brilliant.
have it there. Yeah, I'll just
Brilliant.
share this, and then we'll come back and talk about this. But this is what I'm saying to you about the 2-tier policing. You know. There we go.
Yeah, well, we stand this side and you go around us. Excuse me, get your hand off me there.
That's assault, guard. That's assault. C42.
Get your hand off me. C42.
C133. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking.
Why did not give you consent and put your hand on me?
Just leave it out. We're here in Remembrance of 1916, right? And that's what we're here for. Commemorate the Irish heroes.
If you had a Palestinian flag, it'd be all right, though, wouldn't it?
It makes no difference.
We're only walking to the Garden of Remembrance. We're not causing any disturbance. We're just literally walking to the top of a bus. What's the big problem?
You got a clip with a bus.
We will move out of the way for the bus.
Isn't it even nothing of the stuff behind you? Yeah, well, if someone gets a clip like a me almost, then you don't chase that and use the bus driver.
Leave me out of it. We're only walking 100 fucking yards, man. Well, I'm not the organiser, I'm just saying, like, if it was a Palestine flag, you wouldn't have a problem with them. It won't be a difference.
The amount of piecework that come from us.
Oh, show them your little mask. Statue behind you. Show them it. Come on, brother, you're one of us, man. You're Irish or what? No. You've sold your soul out. To be a sergeant, you had to. Listen, why isn't it for a sergeant? It's not a deal. You shouldn't have formed you to be a sergeant. I should show you how nasty he is with his own people. Yeah.
Wow. So there you go. You were just talking about it, Martin, but I've seen it with my own eyes. I videoed it. I've done hundreds of these protest videos at this time, you know. The Garda presence does be just off the wall. They won't let you turn left. They won't let you turn right. They send you wherever they want to send you. These lads seem to have free reign to do anything they want. You know what I mean? It's sickening, like, you know.
Yeah,
and
but
again, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, but the way, what did you get out of that? Like, what did the boys get out of that? If they shut their mouth, walk down the road, you're not giving them engagement. You're giving them no excuse to arrest you. So you just march, keep your mouth shut, talk. Don't do any engaging with them. You know, what are you going to achieve by and the other crowd are paid by the 10.5 billion. So you know they can do what they like, and yeah, you can say it's unfair, but you don't achieve nothing. So you're just better off. That's what's going to happen tenfold on Saturday. So I would just, my word to that is just you work in military fashion, hands reach from each other. Anyone comes up and engage you, just photograph, video them, and just keep moving forward and don't engage. So we had the same up Gardner Street. They arrested about 20 up in Gardner Street when we left the big protests. I don't know when that was. There was the last big one that was down there. Yeah, sorry, go on. Yeah, they
Yeah,
arrested.
I was arrested at it.
Yeah, but there was about the guard there. He's like fucking. He's up in the bridewell all the time. The fella with glasses, and I'd say there's absolutely. I know to be saying the Africans are coming in. They're 70 IQs. This fella I'd say is about 40. And now he got into guards, but he's just stupid, and he'll arrest anyone or they'll engage with you to create a problem. So the best way out of that is just don't engage. Keep marching forward and just keep in close contact. Because this is what's going to happen Saturday. They're going to have plants in there, and they're going to be trying to aggravate us and create arrests. So lads just got to be clever, you know. If you want to go for a row, you get it, but you'll get locked up, and that's all they want. All they want is 40 or 50 locked up, and then that goes on to the Sunday World the next day. Oh, and then what they will be trying to achieve, and that's what worried me more than anything, is for the digital ID and the cameras in the city.
Yeah.
They can get a right Barney going. That's what they'll be trying to enable. So yeah, it is worrying. But what do you do? Do you not march, or do you call all this stuff off all the time, or do you get frightened? So, like, you're caught in two. What do you do? So you have to be just clever, and anyone that has groups there, whether it's the Irish Party, and that's how they got to operate. Just have your phone, your camera on, and just march forward and keep close contact. Don't let them in amongst you. Push them out. Hold your hand up, but don't strike and don't engage with. Anyway, go on.
But you were there, Martin. You were there. You saw what happened. Like they did nothing wrong, did they? Really? Let's be honest.
Later read the proclamation, said a few words. Later read. Actually, funnily enough, the Guard presence was massive. They were actually expecting a huge turnout because the public order unit and a huge Guard presence was there. And the crowd was small enough. And there was another event on after it, but again, the crowd wasn't massive. But I noticed then also, which was strange, on a bank holiday Monday, they seemed to have all the council street sweeping teams out at the time these people were trying to make their speeches. I counted 5 different motorized street sweepers on a bank holiday. It just seemed very odd to me. Now, look, it could be my own paranoia. It just seemed odd on a bank holiday Monday that maybe Dublin just always has a big cleanup on the bank holiday, bank holiday weekend or anything like that. But it just seemed like they were there to just annoy, and they were going straight right up and down in front of where the people were actually trying to make their speeches. But that small group just literally walked from the GPO to the Garden of Remembrance. It's absolutely no distance whatsoever. There's pop-up protests in Dublin nearly every day of the week about something, like where people walk on the street. But the guards targeted. It was the same 3 that were hovering around all day. None of them wanted to make eye contact, funnily enough. Just didn't want to make eye contact at all. And it's something I'm quite good at. I stare at the guards and just keep looking at them until they look away, but not it was straight away they look down. They went away then, and then they followed us on from a distance. Guys went into the Garden of Remembrance. There's a few more words said there. And there was 2, and I don't know, have you ever seen the Antifa profilers? They go around with cameras and take pictures, and they're the pictures you see up. And there's 2 Antifa guys taking pictures. We didn't engage with them, but somebody went out the other gate of the Garden of Remembrance, kind of top side one, and walked around and watched what they were doing. And they went straight over talking to the guards and spoke to the guards for about maybe 30-40 minutes. So they work together. They work hand in hand. Or maybe some of these Antifas are undercover cops, or maybe they're police informants, or but there's definitely a relationship there that you can see it. You can see it. It was friendly, and there was definitely an exchange of some information. So that's what you're dealing with.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm. Yeah, and like, look, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the likes of Paul, sure, he's just sick of being in this underworld. I mean, really, he should be on page 3. All right, Michael Dennis.
I'm being honest with you. I'm expecting it. I'm expecting the pics of me sticking my tongue out and them saying he's part of this and he's part of that. And
Yeah, I know.
you know, I told you all to expect this, and the bullshit that's going on at the minute is just ridiculous. Carry on, like, you know, people shouldn't listen to other people. You need to if you need to know something, ring me. I'll tell you exactly. You know,
Are you expecting a big
But-
crowd at it?
they are
Think
expecting
so.
a big crowd, James. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
It's honestly hard to know. It's hard to know. Like, I mean,
I'd say to be at that there could be about 15,000. I think if they don't come out Saturday, they'll never be out. And I think there's been massive publicity with this one. You know, with the McGregor thing, with everything that the spanner's in the works now. And I think there'll be 15 plus. Yeah, 15,000 plus. I would say it's going to be a very big one. It's well advertised on social media. You know, the other one might take from a bit. I don't know. You don't know. But at least the other one it'll keep the guards busy. They'll have to go to 2 spots. So spread some
Look, they're good. They're good networking events, and it's actually lovely to sometimes actually shake hands and talk to somebody that you might know online, or you might see them on a show, or you might this, that, and the other. It's a good time to meet people and make connections, get phone numbers and stuff like that for, you know, more serious work in the future. But yeah, they're usually good days. I hope the weather's nice and everybody can have a nice time out and bite to eat afterwards and a couple of pints or something like that. But
No one's flower. Paul, don't even have a single sharp object on you. Don't even wear a pin. They'll be calling me MacGyver next week. They will. I would have taken out 10 coppers with a pin. Come on.
Oh my God.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Are you going to travel, James?
No, I think there's been a brave miscalculation made. I think that interview was very, very damaging, and everyone that's contacted me on the ground, I don't know. As I've said my piece on it. I don't want to dishearten anyone, but
there's definitely two schools of thought. Yeah, there's definitely two schools of thought on that. But like I said, I take these events for what they are, as in they're good. They're good for handshaking. They're good for talking to people. They're good for getting the like. I don't mean this to be detrimental to anybody or rude to anybody like that. I'm sorry. I don't think I've ever listened to a word that's been said by anybody up on the stages at any of these events. That's not that. You know what I mean? That's you're talking to an echo chamber of people who already know, and it's just the same stuff over and over again. Like I said, I'm not knocking anyone, but like I said, I like these events because you get to touch people, you get to put your hands around somebody else's hand and say, "Hello, I'm Martin. Who are you?" And you get to meet people and talk to people. So that's why I love it. And they're always fairly good carnival events as well. Like there's always a good atmosphere in the air, and there's smiles and this, that, and the other. So hopefully it'll be exactly the same. But in relation to speeches and whatnot, look, I take it. There's somebody. Do you know what I'd love? Do you know what I'd love? Do the march, the Guardian of Remembrance, down to wherever the destination is up. Ferg's wife gets up and sings. That's it. Now, I'd almost pay to hear.
No, I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't agree with you. You have say 15,000 people there, and like James's speech was iconic. You know, it's been an iconic part of the movement.
Yeah.
You know, and people do reflect on that about the creamery, the black and tans, and it was an iconic statement. So it's been one of these parts of the movement that has been iconic, and it was strong and it gave a big message. So the way I look at when you have 15,000 people there, might be 5,000, whatever it's going to be there, a lot of cameras there. So when people speak, and if someone happens to speak, like was it Suzanne Delaney? And of all the speeches, there was what she says and what James says. You know, there were two different scenarios. She had a modern day what was happening in where she has her children in Blanchardstown or whatever, her son or daughter, And James was on about the black and tans of old and how the guards were treating us the same as the black and tans treated the old IRA years ago. But yeah, there have been iconic moments in it. So there will be 7 or 8,000 anyway at it. So there's a lot of cameras there. So when people speak, and if someone happens to say something that's strong and gives a message, it can be used. And especially now that we have the profile, we were on about James early on. We had a bit of a meeting there, and we were on about, well, the McGregor situation. Like as I says, I was working on a roof Tuesday evening. Anthony rang me and says, you know, McGregor is in town and all that. And I said, yeah, Carlson and all that's over and whatever. Well, he says, yeah, he says, then Moore and the whole lot are getting in there or whatever. There's, you know, they're welcoming and all that. So obviously, I made a decision then coming home from work. I says, well, fuck it, I'm going to go home, get a shave and go. You know, because it's a big capture moment that you have a chance. Like, you have the 25-30% negative. I know I'm repeating myself, people was talking early on. You have the 25-30% negative of McGregor, and then you have a world platform where you never had this. We've been suppressed since everything started. You know, anything that got around the media, it's got around our own echo chambers, and you know, it did get into some of the things got into full flow media, but very little. So we've been very, very suppressed, like a fascist state we're living in. And what we'll have with McGregor, we're gone past fucking the local, like in your case, the Sligo champion, the Western people. You know, my case here is the leader in the Nationals. And then you have outside that, then you have the radio stations, small ones. And then you have True FM, Irish Times, Irish Independent, Virgin, and RTE. And we don't get on that. And any word that gets on there is that only we're sure of bollocks and we're causing trouble. And they're suppressing everything at the. But now we've bypassed all that and we're going on to the world platform through McGregor. So we can look at, he's leading us down the garden path. He could fucking well be. And it could be on a road to nowhere. He's not going to get elected, probably not going to get a nomination anyway. And he's not going to get 4 councils anyway. And I'd say very slim chance of getting 20 nominations in the Dáil and Senate. I don't think so. He might get 7 or 8. I don't think he'll get 20. So I don't know what his angle is. We don't know his angle. But we can only play this. It's like riding a horse or whatever. Or as I says early on, say you're in Cllr and you're looking for a lift coming to Dublin, and some lad's going to bring you to Strokestown. We have to treat it as that. That we're getting on the road, we're to Longford, and we don't expect to be brought the whole way. Like, the whole fucking thing can change with him. We have to be very observant. But now we're getting national attention, and we're getting international attention, and we're getting massive national attention through McGregor. And we didn't have that before. We were suppressed totally at the bottom. So from that point of view, we have to use it for what it is, yeah? Or else disconnect and stay fucking suppressed for the next, basically to put in the cameras and they start locking us all up. And that's probably, it's going to happen anyway. But we've a chance of breaking this now, because we're a funny country, because you have 40,000 Irish Americans or something, haven't you? You have all the boys in Australia, Canada. They're getting that message through Tucker Carlson and McGregor and Rogan or whatever will be on it next week, or will he or will he not. And you have all the Irish in England, in Britain, that think the IRA or Sinn Féin are fucking mighty people. And they're caught it. You have chance of breaking that now. So that's an awful lot of traction. It's like the trade-off here is we could be laid down the garden path and probably are, right? But take it for what it is. It's the fucking, you're going from Castlebar to Dublin and you're getting a lift to Longford. Take it. It'll see where we get the rest of the way after. You know, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I think what's it called? I think it's a brave miscalculation. Everyone that contacted me men that's in Australia and Canada and the whole lot, the last couple of days, they were fully aware of what was going on back in Ireland, and they were supporting our movement, and they can't understand how we're aligning ourselves with McGregor. Like, you have to remember, you had 75% of the population who were against mass migration. That means 3/4 of people agreed with you. It was just to get them on side, quietly on side, that they would vote in the similar fashion. Now you have a situation where 60 to 70% of people are against McGregor in one way or another. You have probably 50% who think he's guilty of the accusations that he was accused of, and then another percentage now who've seen him sit down in a Mason's Hall for an interview. And I know people are saying it's only bricks and mortar, but there's two angles of looking at that. Either the man knew where it was and went with it, or he's so silly that you can march him into a Mason's Hall and he can't figure out where he is. But either way, you can't deal with someone that's either fully on board with it or that easily led. Like, I've been quite honest with my opinion. I don't think it's correct. I think what should have been done is the party should have came out and says, we are not having anything to do with someone who sit down in the Mason's Hall. And I don't think this event next week is going to be half as big as an awful lot of people think it's going to be. I think people are looking for events where you do something different than what has been done. You have how many previous marches? What came from any of them? Very little, only a networking opportunity. And then, as you says, Tom, I had an iconic speech or something like that. Sure, I went to the next protest after that. I went up to where the speakers were, and I wasn't allowed to make a speech.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. Yeah.
You only get to,
I think
James, you know the rules. You only get to be iconic once. Those pulling the strings. Yeah, those pulling the strings don't allow traction. You know it. You know well.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Sure, those pulling the strings are the ones calling for this meeting again. So
yeah, but anyway, it's not going to make us one way or the other. Like, we needed a big fucking. Well,
it could, Tom. It
well, I just,
you're
you know, the yoke I had up today about, and McGregor was mentioned in the radio. I don't know if you watched that. It's up on TikTok. I put it up this morning around 11 o'clock, and it got about 8,000 views or whatever. Right now, there was none of them. They were all positive. 99% were positive. You had a few trolls, right? But there was no one saying, "Well, fuck McGregor," or no, not what I was expecting. Well, look, this is it. They're going to be saying, because the interview was done prior to we knowing about McGregor or whatever. So it was. McGregor was mentioned. Do you back McGregor? I says I do, and all that stuff was on the interview. And I says I'll back any man that'll stand in the line to close our borders. I don't care what or where or when. There's no criminal conviction against them and blah blah blah. I went through, but no one was coming in from the national side. They weren't saying, "Well, look at Tom, you're getting it wrong." But then you'll see. I know there's certain people, and there's an awful lot of these sort of people in the movement. They're there to create division. They're putting up posts like Freemason Hall, this, that, and that. You have to look at it. We're on the world stage now. We're on the national. We're rocking the boat now. The boat's been rocked. They're on the back foot now. They're telling in the council, they have it in against me there. Newbridge says, to get this man to resign. We won't back his motions. We this, that, and the other. I'm in the paper there today. I got a hold of it. I didn't read it. I don't like reading papers, but the local leader, and he said this, and he's lining with McGregor and all that. It's shaking them up now. It's shaking them up. Now, where McGregor thing, what he's doing or what is going on, we don't really know. We just have to see how it goes. It's not going to do. We're not doing anything anyway. There's nothing happening. It's like we have to have a revolution, or we have to just take this, you know. And then it's like taking off your trousers and letting a lot of lads up in your back. There's one or two movements there. There's nothing else. I don't see any other option. Like, go away from McGregor. See, McGregor could have a massive move there with Trump as regards the presidency. There could be a plan there. There could be a plan about the constitution. You know, there could be plans for Ireland. Ireland's very secure with the constitution. And there could be an alternative plan there. We don't know. But we just have to take it as we go along, see what happens. But there's a lot more people waiting up. There's a lot more. They're coming on board. Sorry, Martin, you're going to...
Just one very important point to make. Forget about everything else. I have a big smile on my face now. 5 people affiliated one way or another through lots of different channels and stuff like that. Differing opinions, live conversation, debate, no arguing, no name calling, no nothing. Just actual proper conversation and debate. Here's my point of view. Here's why I believe this. Here's my point of view. And here's why I believe this. Absolutely fantastic. Do you know how rare it is to actually sit back and listen to a conversation of two people just actually go, well, this is what I think and I believe, and this is why I believe it, and another person comes back and they're 2 rational points and they're 2 fair points of view, and no name calling, no fighting, no nothing. Do you know what I mean? The rest of the nationalist movement could take a huge amount from the last 15-20 minutes of conversation there, and just to see how we used to be able to do it, like 2 separate points, just hash it out. You know what I mean? You might never find middle ground. You could spend the rest of your life talking, but the fact that 2 humans or 5 humans here together can have differing views and actually have a good conversation and debate about it without roaring, shouting,
civilized conversation.
It gives me hope, and I have a big smile on my face now over it. That's going to put me in good mood
Yeah,
for the day.
but we're speaking from the heart. We're speaking fucking truthful. And once you're speaking pure and truthful, you will not go wrong, right? But when you start lying and sneaking and acting the bollocks or whatever, you have an alternative motive, then you're in trouble. We can speak from the heart. Well, I can anyway. I'm pure. I'm pure thought about all
I'm
this.
fairly happy to say that the 5 heads up here now would all be cut from the same cloth. I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say one thing, Tom. I'm getting you a swear jar on Saturday.
Huh?
I'm getting you a swear jar on Saturday. You're taking over from Paul.
Was I cursing?
No, Tom, no.
I don't know. When I rear up,
James has been acting like a gentleman all night. No bad language out of him at all.
He's not revved up enough. That's all.
So what do you think, James?
I just have a different opinion of it. I'm just going by what's been said to me and that. And as I says, I'm not telling anyone though. I'm going by what's been said to me and that. And just with reference to the division like that, it's divided 6 or 7 ways already. And from what I'm being told, there's a new part being introduced at this thing on the 26th. And there was no requirement for a new party. And I don't know.
And we could we look, depending. This is why I've told everybody kind of just be quiet, see what happens. You know, sit back, relax, take in the information. Too many moving parts to form a valid opinion. There could be something announced, and depending what it is, we might be sitting down having a conversation. Well, is this the real deal? Is this controlled opposition? Are we in the way? Day to day, you know what I mean? So just go Saturday, don't go Saturday, enjoy Saturday, do what you normally do on a Saturday. The world is going to keep spinning regardless, but we should have a better picture of things after the weekend. Then we can make a little bit more comment.
Another side to that too, there's another side to that too, Michael, is gold is after hitting 3,500 and the dollar and the euro seem to be fucking flying down.
James, yes. Who has it? A little birdie told me that it's not where it's supposed to be, and somebody orange has it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Saturday is a long way with this, and you could have an economic situation by Friday that looks very, very different to Tuesday. So you could very different.
Go on. I'm putting you on the spot. Who has it?
The gold.
Somebody in the States got very, very confident very, very quickly.
Well, it's strange to me how there was a meeting between the Vice President of America and the Pope, and the cargo planes that left Rome and the Pope was dead. Very strange.
I'm
strange.
wondering if what's been missing from Fort Knox for quite some time is being returned before somebody opens the door. Anyway, regardless, it looks like Trump. It looks like Trump has played a massive trump card, and his currency is going to be backed by gold.
It would seem that way, I know. So it would,
or is it all just smoke and mirrors? Like, is it? I don't know. I think it's brilliant. Anyway, it was like we're truly living in a bad James Bond movie.
Yeah, gold member.
Gold member, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Paul, you have to host again. We're all reading something. Is Paul frozen?
Paul.
No, he's frozen.
Either that or he's dead.
Yeah. No, I'm frozen.
Oh, there's two of them now.
Oh,
Look,
Jesus,
there's two of them now.
Two Pauls are better than one.
You can't beat a Paul. I don't know what happened there. Something happened there. We're after dropping loads of people and all there. We're after cutting in half there. Something happened with the Explorer, the Chrome shit, and it just kicked me out of Chrome. But it kept all the use here. So
is everyone gone quiet there, are they?
No, I can hear everyone.
Can you hear Paul talking?
No.
You can't hear me talking.
Paul.
No.
I can hear Orla.
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear everyone talking there. Yeah, no bother.
Just read a few more of these. Two Pauls. I'm in heaven.
Oh, Jesus! Please do not encourage him.
Oh, Jesus!
I see, Paul. Jaden has sent in a few photographs. So let's have another look.
Oh, yeah. You weren't letting that one go all the way.
Oh no, lads! We have a guy who is absolutely brilliant at AI, and every week now, we have the mystery of what age Paul is. He's been around for centuries, but the truth's only coming out now. So Jaden has the proof that he's been around for a long time.
Here's one of his pictures. This was the thing we spoke about the other night. Remember?
Yeah, about the trees and Trinity College. Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Thanks for that, Jaden. Good man. I'm sure we'll get more before the end of the night. James has gone off there. Wow.
We were, Tom, I don't know if you watched the show the other night. There was this stupid thing on from Trinity College, and they were hooking up electrical stuff onto the trees to see did the trees have feelings and, you know, what they were thinking and all this sort of stuff. And it was just nonsense. And probably hundreds of thousands went into it.
I'm into that.
No. Into what? Into the tree?
Yeah. There is vibrations, you know, there is
No, I know that.
Yeah, earthing and all that, yeah. But I know that probably they were gonna, yeah. I'm into that grounding and all that crap, yeah.
And, you know, things like that. You know, we were just wondering, how does it feel when a dog goes and pees against it?
But that's the question I'd have asked.
What? What'd you say?
Have you seen that study, your man? There was a Nobel Peace Prize award, a Japanese guy, about water. Have you seen that?
No.
And yeah, water has fierce sort of memory and
yeah,
where there was he had this freezer anyway, super way of freezing things, and it was sort of like massive, like instant freeze. And if you're speaking negatively around water, he had the samples, and it went all no shape. And then they done it where they were speaking nicely to the water, and very good thoughts and speeches around it or whatever. Speaking, as I say, lovely to it, lovingly to it. The water made lovely shapes, stars and all that. Have you seen that? What's his name? It's a Japanese guy. He's dead now. But yeah, there's so with trees and plants, and he also done it with strawberries. He put 3 strawberries in a jar, and he had the same thing. One he spoke to negatively and abusively to, one moderately, and one lovingly to, you know, that you're lovely and you're grand. Yeah. And the one that he spoke nicely to and lovely to stayed pure fucking red. The other one that he was middling bad whatever, went half raw, and the other one that he was very abusive went black. So, and he got a Nobel Peace Prize. He was a Japanese guy. I haven't got his name now off the top of my head, but yeah, it's interesting.
We'll play that one again. Yeah, we will. But we played a video earlier of the 2-tier policing system. I'm just going to show you this. This is only 20 seconds long. This is a guy being attacked by the same crowd.
What's going on? What's he trying to write down?
Because he didn't agree with them. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
But
lads.
nothing can be done there. They'll just get away with it.
Yeah. I messed up on that there now. If the world wants world peace, we have to stop using Saudi oil and gas and taking their settlements and deal with globalism, or just accept we are living in a lie that the Saudi Arabia is in control. And they're the money men, all right, aren't they? I only looked there. The top, I think the top 10 properties in the world are all owned by sheikhs, all owned by. Now I'm talking probably 200 or 300 million or $1 billion for a property. They're all owned by these Arab sheikhs and sultans. You know, it is true. Like, do strawberries understand Japanese? Maybe Japanese strawberries do. See, there you go. Yeah, instruments of the state. Jordan just sent me he just sent me another one there. I'll let you see it. Where we're going here. Yeah. He's there. So.
Oh. Do you know what, Paul? He always has you looking so respectable looking. Oh, Jaden, have you got Martin's picture?
Paul, you need to tell people to go back to the 4th-tier night system that you experienced in the medieval age. Yeah. Yeah. World peace is Jewish illusion. Yeah. You want to give. I'm going to just. I have the Irish Git here talking about. Yeah. This is. We've all seen the stuff out today where I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the minister first. Okay. This is the minister on the radio this morning.
In the area of housing, and specifically in the programme for government, there's a specific section in there which is practical options for positive ageing. One of those is to look at, can we make it easier for older people to create a separate living unit within their own home, smaller unit, and we make it easier for them. And other aspects then in terms of right sizing, what would be known as that if they wish to move to a smaller house, that I want to engage with the banks and the credit unions, see is it possible to put bridging finance in place that would allow them to purchase a smaller home prior to having to sell their own home, because there may be a timing difference. But ultimately, Pat, this is all voluntary. I'm coming from the perspective here to provide extra choices for older people. I've set up a working group. This is a very, very quick body of work which will feed in to the new housing plan by government.
This is playing with fire, lads. This is what we spoke about for the last 3 years. You know what I mean? Now it's coming into play now.
I was at a meeting up in Artane, was it? There about was it a year ago or 2 years ago? Yeah. Where your man Bannon, what's his name?
Daryl Bannon. Daryl Barron.
Bannon, he's on television. He's an architect there. He's always
Oh,
yeah.
Dermot Bannon. Dermot Bannon.
Dermot Bannon, yeah. And he was on it. And there was a rugby guy, and Jim Glennon was it. There was a few of them there anyway. And a few of us attended to it. I remember Gavin Pepper was there at the front and he asked a few harmless enough questions. But what they were doing, see, they always approach these things with frontline workers. So, say you live near a hospital. So, what they say is, oh, we'll say now, you know, in Beaumont, we were near the Beaumont. Anyway, I think it was Artana, I don't know where. So, that says, like, well, who would you put in there? And then, you know, my man says, well, like as we are in this situation, we're near the hospital and you'd have emergency workers. And there are a lot of old people there. It was in the community hall. And so what would happen? Well, what happens? You'd let out the same old people. You let out the top of your house to the emergency workers that, you know, are more than likely a family coming from India or whatever, you know, but they'll call them emergency workers, frontline workers, emergency workers. You know, we need housing for these people. So what they were doing then, they were, say it was 80,000 to do up the house to create this situation where the old person living downstairs would benefit. This is how they were selling it. That you would get rent from them upstairs. So you have your mother and you're down the country living in Portlaoise or somewhere. Your mum's up in Artane and she's got these Indians upstairs or Africans or whatever that they'll call frontline workers, which are, you know, it's all bull.
Yeah.
Once they're in, they're in. And once the deal is signed, you know, so we asked about legal documentation. Have they this legally done? You know, what's the implications of people upstairs? And, you know, no, and that's not there. And, you know, they wouldn't give us the microphone and whatever. It was, yeah, it's a fucking big trick to take the house. So what the criteria, I think, was, now it's about 2 years ago, I think you had to be on disability or you had to be drawing estate money, meaning that your means tested and that you had no money. You had a building worth maybe 400,000, but you hadn't got any money. So you're under serious pressure. The old person would be under serious pressure straight away, paying that money back to do up the house, because the house would have to be rewired and, you know, different things would have to be done.
Yeah.
Usually all the whole houses now, you rewiring could be, well, estimate around 15 grand, straight away gone. Then you'd have to put a kitchen upstairs and you'd have to do this and that and fireproofing and, you know, it's not straightforward. So it's about 80 grand. So I think she's carrying the burden, or the old person, man or whatever, is carrying that burden of that loan, because the way they had it implicated that the person wouldn't have the money. So then they're in a situation where they have leverage on the house. So it's very, very, very dangerous. I had the brochure on it. I forget the name of the housing crowd that had doing it. But I think it was Jim Glennon, Dermot Bannon, and someone else done the presentation. But they didn't want anyone that was negative to speak, because they had the microphones turned off if you were speaking and you were asking questions that they didn't, knowing that you would ask any sort of serious questions. It's taking the houses off the old people. It's serious. It's serious stuff. This is the stuff people run about. Sorry?
Even what he just said there about giving them bridging loans, you're nearly paying back half of what you're borrowing, like, you know what I mean? A bridging loan is only something to get you by until your money comes through. We've all, I've had umpteen things with solicitors, and you're waiting on money and you get a bridging loan, you get £1,000 off, you'll end up spending back £1,600 back to them, you know what I mean? It's the whole bridging loan thing is wrong, I think, you know what I mean? And old people will fall into this trap, especially with the stuff Leo did years ago for them going into nursing homes and the houses are taken off and they're paid. That should be all state paid for, I think, and anyway, I really do. Because
they've done this in the UK where the old person goes in and says, I don't know how much is it a week now, 1,200 is it, or whatever.
Yeah, in and around that, yeah.
Yeah. So you're basically signing over that property to pay that bill. You know, You know, this is, they have it all set up, like all plans, they're set up 10 years in advance. And what they're going to do, people going to nursing homes, they'll basically, to have the house leveraged off them, you know, to pay the nursing home fees and whatever. Yeah. So they're up to many tricks, you know, but, and then
Nothing
boys,
good, Tom.
huh?
And nothing good.
Nothing good. And boys are on about McGregor and they're on about this fucking splitting the movement and doing this. You know, we need to be getting to talk. See, we're talking in echo chamber here. Right? How many people are watching this? A couple of hundred? 50?
With 1,200 there now at the minute.
All right. Well, that's a good number. Yeah. But we're in echo chambers. With Conor McGregor and that thing, take it any way you want. We're going to platform. We're going to be getting, that message will be going 10, massively. So we'll have 20,000, 30,000 listening, on platforms. So that's where we need to be. Take the McGregor thing any way you want. We have to use it, maneuver it to our advantage. And we have to stop. 1,200 is a good number, but we need to be talking, it's 20, 30, 40,000 to break down RPE.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. We're trying, Tom. We're trying. Every weekend it's going up and up and up. So the more people share it, what I'll say to you is there, people, share it out there if you can.
Yeah.
We're watching live on X at FitzyDub, at Anthony L. Casey, at RuggerMorph27. We're on Facebook, Paul Fitzsimons, the Freedom Network, and on the irishchannel.com/live. If you could share it out again, people, to everyone now, and you can also get us on WhatsApp on 0892031521. Anthony Martin. You have to say on that? He's had to forget what we were talking about. We were talking about the houses, you mad bastard.
He's there, like in a.
I was listening, but I'm terrible for multitasking. I was reading something at the same time. I was talking to my parents about this today because I'm kind of laughing and joking about the fact that if they can't take it from you one way, the state, by forcing you out of it so you can't give it to your kids, what they'll do is they'll make, like they've done in the UK, they'll make inheritance tax so high you will be forced to sell the property to a vulture fund anyway just to clear the tax bill. So look, it's an attack on everything. It's push old people out of their houses, push them into the suicide machines. You know what I mean? Young people just be worker slaves. Big Marxist cycle. What now, Irishman? What are we doing about it? We'll see on Tuesday. We'll see how many turn up on. Or sorry, on Saturday. I keep saying Tuesday. On Saturday. We'll see how many people turn up on Saturday. How many people want to change.
That's imperative. Saturday. It'll be a good indication with numbers. If we don't get 15,000 out Saturday, we may throw our hat at it. We have a bigger platform now, and if we don't get them numbers up, people have just accepted they've lost everything. And by God, they are going to lose everything.
I have a wild idea. And again, it came up in conversation today. This is kind of pie in the sky stuff, but sometimes if you throw an idea out, the universe just allows it to happen. There are some rural villages in Ireland that are either nearly fully deserted or completely deserted, right? Or there's nothing left in them, if you know what I mean. If we can show people a different way to live, like how many in our circle, like, you know what I mean, that you could say are dependable nationalists, probably just 10,000. There's 10,000 people there, right? Different stages of life and stuff like that. But imagine if we could put it into practice. Imagine if we could actually take it down and just go, this is ours now. And we're going to have a local butchers, we're going to have a local shop, we're going to have some local farmers producing stuff. And
So what you're saying? You're going to accept the Islamic State and just take your own little town in here and there? I will die fighting before that happens.
But what happens?
I don't care what happens. We don't retreat and we don't surrender under any circumstance.
Do you know? I'll tell you what. If you read good military books, Sometimes you have to retreat. Sometimes a fool will charge into battle and lose. Sometimes you retreat. They're called strategic retreats. What I'm saying is to give people an example of how life could be. Can we point out anywhere in the country where we can give people an example of this is how life could be if we just pushed back a little bit?
Martin, at that stage there'll be about 6,000 Islamics here. They were going to cut you and eat you at that stage. They will eat you.
But you see,
they'll be cooking you. They'll be cooking you, and they'll be eating you.
That won't ever happen to me. I move in different circles. But anyway, what I'm saying to you is that show me an example of in real life of what we're trying to sell.
But you're talking from the perspective of accepting what's going to happen, what could happen if we don't stand up and fight. We have to stand. We have to dig in, and we have to stand. We have to hold the ground.
Okay. We'll talk about Islam. We'll talk about Islam. Give me your this. And again, this is why I like conversation. Give me your solution.
On what?
How to deal with Islam.
Don't let any more in.
See the borders. You stop every one of them coming in. Every one of them. And any of them is here. Let them go back to where they came from. Go back to the desert.
I'm playing devil's advocate now. How do we do that?
Take control of the control of the way I see is we have 100 to 200,000 people. We know from Saturday either it's going to happen or it's not. If we're not 15,000 plus Saturday, we've no hope. With Conor McGregor, like him, hate him, whatever, he's on the scene now, and there's a bit of momentum there. If we can't get 15 plus Saturday, forget about it. What do we do with it? Islam is not acceptable in Ireland under any circumstances. And they're going into the graveyards. They're going into our schools. They're going in to our hospitals and saying, take down our Sacred Heart pictures, anything that's there resembling God. That's outrageous.
But again, to play devil's advocate, what have you done to stop the spread of Islam in Ireland, or what does your ordinary? But see, I've already spent time outside mosques. I've already spent time putting leaflets.
What I would say, the first move towards that Saturday, that we try and bring across with us, and we pray hard that don't happen. That's a massive defence, pray to God, to stop all this. And everyone should nearly carry something very strong religiously on Saturday. This is very serious, and I would, under any circumstance, you don't accept Islam, you know? And
hang on, who's accepting Islam? You say they're not my government, but the government.
But you were saying 5 minutes ago, Martin, that you're going to withdraw into make your little own towns, and you're going to do a survival route, you know, because I heard Cal, you know the funny guy, he says, hold on, we don't all have bits of land. A lot of people in Dublin live in concrete jungles. You know, they don't have land. They live in Dublin. Their families are there.
Tom, you misunderstood what I said there. You thought I'm talking about building a commune or something like that. I'm talking about building an example, not a town to hide in or hide behind, not a town with walls, a town where people can come and say, I'd actually like to live this life, where you have a nationalist community that look out for each other like they used to, with, like I said, your family-owned shop, Irish family-owned shop, your Irish family-owned butchers, your co-op creamery, you know what I mean, your market where you buy this stuff. No big supermarket, no Aldi, no Lidl, no nothing. Small little simple life with enough work for everybody to go around. That's what I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about building bloody, like I said, communes and fortresses and stuff like that to hide behind. I'm talking about building a beacon of hope. That's all I'm about. I'm about hope, hopeful ideas. You know what? Sometimes they're pie in the sky, but it gives people something to aspire to. You know what I mean? Who's to say that there is not some absolutely dollar billionaire Christian that's going to come across this at some stage, you know, and goes, actually, do you know what? I'm going to buy a fucking village in Ireland because I like what those people are saying. It's a long shot, but you have to say these things out loud, because the universe won't let it happen unless you say it out loud.
Someone's asking there, is Martin controlled opposition? Yeah, of course.
Oh, 100%. 100%, yeah. Controlled opposition, Jewish. What else am I? Fucking alien. I'm one of the transdimensional lizard people.
We need to build our own communities and networks. Everything we know will get turned against us.
But everybody's talking about this for years and years and years and years and years and years, and everybody's still just fucking fighting. And that's the reality. Everybody's just fighting.
No. I'm not fighting.
Oh no, we're not fighting.
You don't accept this under any circumstances, right?
Yeah.
We don't accept any of this. We have a good guide from Saturday, and we go forward from Saturday. We don't know how it's going to turn up Saturday. We don't know what's going to happen Saturday. Hopefully, we can pick up a bit of momentum going from Saturday forward. But I think we need to have something very major. What I was going to call on would be massive. That we'd call on the four corners of Ireland. The northern crowd meet at Swords, yeah? And the Donegals, the northern crowd, all come. Shankill, you meet Wexford and Wicklow and all that crowd come in at Shankill. We come, Dan Breen and the whole lot, and Clark Collins and the whole lot, we meet at Rathcoole. And from the west, James Conway can lead the charge and go in from Maynooth. And we all go at 9:30 some morning, and we all fucking march for that city. It's our country, and by fuck, we're not going to give up under any circumstances. We'll pull them out of it. Yeah, that's the only way of doing it. I'm not going to go back living in a corner and some fucking Muslim coming on and telling me that you pay Sharia law now, because that's what's in the pipeline. If you don't go over to their faith, you pay jizya, and then you chop suey if you don't do that. So you can go off to your own little. They'll get you. Now is the time to stand.
There's nobody ever going to get me. But what you're saying is, you're saying it's now time for the gallows, so to speak.
Now is the time to fight. While we still have a bit of power and a bit of momentum, now is the time to stand your ground and tell them we're not accepting any more of this. You know?
Yeah. But see, my issue with that is I called for that 4 years ago. I wanted the gallows brought out during COVID, and nobody seemed up for it at the time. Like, you know what I mean? And I see this is the thing that Tom. I live in a very real world, and I would be on the front line if I thought for a second there was even 1,000 men behind me. I would be the first to charge if I thought that. I'm not looking for a big number. If I thought there was 1,000 men willing to do what I'm willing to do, and they were behind me, I'd have no issue. A lot of this will be resolved already. Still waiting.
Yeah, what I said there a minute ago is a plan. And I tell you, we don't come up with something fairly quick and something solid, and we will lose the lot. We will lose the lot. How do they work? They work with fear. They work with water cannons. They'll fear, all fear mongering. All they done COVID, fear. If you don't take that, you'll die. If you don't do this, you'll die. If you go outside 5 kilometres, we'll lock you up. We'll do this. All fear mongering, you know. No, it's time now to be really, really going for them, you know. And we have momentum now with McGregor. And by God, now is the time to say, fuck yous, let's march. Let's go for the
Orla, just would you do me a favor? I want you to put see if you can get a bet from fucking Paddy Power or fucking Ladbrokes or something like that. I want to see how quick myself and Tom get picked up on fucking Saturday. Fucking, we won't get near the protest. We both done for
I'm going to be honest, Martin. I agree with Tom. I've said this all along. Any meetings I've been at, we need to shut down. Come in from. I said the same thing as you, Tom. The people from Ballyfermot, wherever, come in, close Euston Station. All the north side here, we can close the airport, and the people in town and surrounding areas can stop.
Take our country back, and that's what needs to be done. We're not going to let them away with this. You know, it's either that or fucking give up. You know, it's very serious now at this stage, and it's written there straight in front of you. Like every day, there's thousands and thousands coming across that border. Yeah, and they're everywhere. I was above in the airport.
The legal migration is worse. is actually
I picked up
now. Yeah.
I picked up my daughter at Dublin Airport last Wednesday night. She's coming home for Easter. And I went into the Circle K. I won't park in the York, the shorts there. So I said, I'll go around to Circle K in the airport and I'll pull in and I'll have a coffee and I'll wait. It was a half an hour or 40 minutes early. And we're in the Circle K. And there was 18 of us in the Circle K. 4 Irish, 14 basically Middle Eastern people in there. And they were nearly all men. So it's written there right in front. You have to nearly write it on the forehead now, you know. If you can't see it, the visibility is overwhelming. And if we don't do something fairly rapid, we can grow our vegetables down in Sligo and we can grow our vegetables down Mayo, down Galway, but you'll be living paying Chizia, or you'll be doing the Boutala. You'll be doing kissing the bollocks. They're in Croke Park kissing the fucking sacred ground in Croke Park with the last 5 years.
So
you know,
I know. But who sanctioned that?
Yeah, but this is it. They're all with them. You know, it's beyond serious. You know, like, and I was on the radio there and I was on about it. And your man tried to twist it. You wouldn't let Muslims play Gaelic football. And another fella rang me today about it. I said they have no business going in there kissing the sacred turf in Croke Park. They were permitted by the GA. You tried then to buy a ticket for the match, you couldn't pay it in cash. You tried to buy a cup of coffee, you have 7 tills at the 3 outlets where they're selling the teas and coffee. 6 out of the 7 were card only. So they are completely with this agenda. The GA.
You're again, I love playing devil's advocate. Your man Kelly picked up 150,000 votes in the European elections. He was elected on the first count. That scumbag, that Fine Gael guy. I can't remember his first name. Sean Kelly.
Sean Kelly, President GA. Yeah, I know him. Kelly.
I know, but I know he's a despicable human being. I know as a fact he's a despicable human being.
Is he married to Linda Kenny's sister?
That's the one, yeah, I think so, yeah. But that's 100. Yes, that's 150,000 votes he got. Like, so, like, no, the GA love the corruption. They seem to revel it. The GA love the Palestinian flag.
But this is a lot bigger, lads, than we think. You know, because you see it in the GA. I run greyhounds. You can't book a trial. You can't pay for a race entry. You can't do anything in Bornagon. That's another state-run sport, right? They fund it. And you can do nothing bars the card, you know. So you can't blame them because they're state funded, they're Bornagon, right? But the GA are red rotten. And I played football since I was barely able to look over the side of a kitchen chair. I was always played football, played it at a serious level. And all my sons they won county championships. I won 4 or 5. Like, we were played into-county football and that. They are red rotten in the GA. And what they're putting into a lot of the grounds too, you want to look out for, they're putting them 5G towers in. They're giving them 100 grand to put in the 5G towers in. This is when they're going to really blast us out of it. When that stuff goes on, anyone that has an injection in them could be game over. Because they reckon that's what they've done in Wuhan when the outbreak was there. The virus wasn't killing really no one. And what they reckon the 5G towers were turned on there. And it was fucking wiping out people all around there. And then they were blaming...
Them 5G towers were switched on in Wuhan in 2019, around the same time as they had the games. Do you remember the American games? I didn't know they had the military games in Wuhan in 2019. And that's what they tried to say, that the American soldiers brought the thing in there. All bullshit, like, you know what I mean? But they switched it on in specific parts of China at a given time. And it all correlates to when the coronavirus kicked in and the whole lot. And it's all symptoms of coronavirus is symptoms of radiation poisoning, you know?
Yeah, well, anyone that's injected, and if they turn on that 5G, it's game over. You know, this is so. You see lads going around in England and they're cutting down all those ULEZ and all that. These things are everywhere and they're lethal. Like what? So it means if you're downloading a film, I never use that stuff. But it means if you're downloading a film, it's say 20 minutes, and with the old way or 4G or whatever it is, and then with 5G, it's probably 16 minutes. It might improve it 3 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever. And that's what it's all about. That fooled the people. This is serious, this 5G. It has to be watched and monitored. And people need to be in the movement. They need to be, people that are experts are up on that. Everyone has their own field. What are they into? What do they know? What I can only surmise about that stuff. But people need to know what are on them. What dangers are there. They're no advantage. They were rolled out when we were all locked down. They were rolled out that time. They were rolled out everywhere. And they are dangerous. And people are looking at their phones, it says 5G on them, but they're not using no 5G. They're not.
No 5G. There's no 5G.
No.
There's no 5G thing in them. There's no 5G chip in most phones now.
No.
It's all bullshit. It's bullshit.
Yeah. So it's they have to be watched. And the GAA are letting them into all the grounds. And they're giving them 100,000 or something to put them in, and they're saying, that's fund and helping the GAA, and they're doing a lot of sneaky stuff in the GAA. They're doing a lot of stuff in and around that,
And if you look at Crow Park, every security guard in Crow Park is Pakistani or black, even the women. Okay, and we've been told on good sources that they're still housing migrants in Crow Park. So are these fellas working for the keep, or we all know how corrupt the GAA are. They're corrupt to the core. You know what I mean? They always
but they weren't corrupt years ago. You know what I mean? There was always a few pound doing the gates or whatever. You know what I mean? There was a bit of trickery and whatever. And but they've done an awful lot. They built an awful lot of infrastructure was built through the GAA. Like everywhere, the community hall, where I come from down Mayo, Swinford, they built a massive community hall. They spent 200,000 or 300,000 on the pitches over the years, and it was massive. It was like that. The crowd that's running the GAA. When you look at that Larry McCarthy, where did he come from? He's a Cork man that was in New York for 25, 30 years. How did he? He arrived on the scene in the last 5 or 6 or 7 years. He was the last president. And now you have a Sinn Féiner, your man from Burns. They're all Armagh. So the GAA is dangerous. The GAA is dangerous, they have to be watched, So watch out for the 5G towers, watch out. And we're going digital, and, like people are wondering about going to a march or not going to a march. Like, this is the time to go, and this is the time now to put your foot, to realize you're losing everything if you don't get out in that street and you don't voice your opinion and show a bit of strength. This is vital. It's so we're at a crossroads now where everyone can see it. Like you were telling this story 2 years ago, people walk away from you because say you're off the rocker. But if they can't see it now, it's so visible, it's unreal. So even the RTE heads, they must see what's going on.
But you have to remember, right? I'll answer this to Martin, right? There is something very simple that can help, right? And it's one single word, and I say it over and over again. The word is no. No to the digital ID, no to the shots, no to immigration, no. And the more people stand up and say no, the sooner things start changing. It's compliance that is bringing us where we are now.
Yeah, well, it's getting control of media. It's getting control of the.
It's people going along with everything. It was like the masks. It was like the shots. The more people that stood up and said no.
Yeah, but if you took over RT Virgin and you put decent, proper people in there and telling them what's happened with the vax and all that, and give them the proper news, then you'd win the battle straight away. You'd change it. It might take a month, but we're at a crossroads now. If we don't do something, we're gone.
Yeah, but it's compliance. It's people watching RT. instead of turning it off and not listening to them and watching with, say, the likes of our show or other shows, you know?
You can't do that unless you more or less take it over. When any structures, any wars you watch, when you see directly war, any of the wars that took place, the first thing the Americans done was took media towers down.
Yeah.
They took control. Take control of media. It's the biggest weapon is the media. And if you haven't got control of the media, you're living in a fascist state, and they're going to tell everyone that we're the problem, not the solution. They'll turn everybody against that's what they've been successfully doing the last 5 years. They're something wrong with them. You know, they're crackpots. You know, they're on about the injection killing people. Sure, the injection is good. What we should say now to all the politicians, we want to see you all taking an injection once a month for the next 6 months, and we'll give it to you. Every one of them, the guards, the doctors, the whole lot, we'll give you an injection once a month. See, will they take up on that? You know, do they trust the science? Surely they trust the science. Yeah. So that's what we should be doing to them. Getting them fucking vaccines and putting into them, injecting them. Trust the science, lads. It's no harm for you. Put on your mask there now and trust the science. You know, they've all these buzzwords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's been going on. That's been going on a long time, Tom. Should he torn families against each other and everything, like, you know?
Yeah. All done through media. Fearmongering. Yeah. Fearmongering. Destroying everyone. And they're fucking criminals. They're the biggest
Paul,
criminals.
have you got that video I sent on to you today? The one from Paris.
Hang on. I'm just going to show Gavin. I'm just going to show Gavin's video there. It's only on for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Gavin actually met a migrant who only came into the country last night, and Gavin done a little bit of an interview with him. So let's play this, and we'll come back.
Okay. How are you, folks? Councillor Gavin Pepper here, and I'm here with Richard. How are you, Richard? Where are you from, mate?
I'm from Ghana.
Okay. And when did you come to Ireland?
I came to Ireland yesterday.
Okay. From where?
From Glasgow.
Okay. And how did you get from Glasgow to Ireland?
Okay, I took an airplane to Belfast. Then from Belfast, I took a bus. Like I was just roaming, so I took a bus to this place.
And then you came to iPass. And what have iPass said to you?
Yes, they gave me a form to fill, and after filling the form, they said for there's no accommodation, so I should wait for some time. They will email me when accommodations are available.
Right. And they haven't let you know when there's accommodation available?
No, please.
Right. So you have to stay on the street tonight. Is that what it is?
Yes. It's still staying on the street, and it is raining. The weather is very cold as compared to my hometown. The temperature somewhere is around averages around 32, 35. But when I came here, it's just like very low. And staying outside too is hell. And it is raining at the same time. So I'm suffering.
Have they given you a tent, or have they given you any food or anything like that?
No, I don't have any tent. No tent currently.
Right. Nothing like that?
Yeah.
So they just told you literally there's no accommodation, and they'll text you when there is accommodation?
Yes, there's no accommodation currently. So it's like I'm here to, like, whether they can get me a tent or in a place to.
So you're trying to claim asylum in Ireland, eh?
Yes, I'm trying to.
See, Ireland's full. There is no room in this country at the moment. Like, Ireland doesn't have any accommodation. It's full. So they're sending a lot of people that are coming here illegally back home. Do you know what I mean? So that there is no accommodation in the country. So, what made you come to Ireland? What made you decide to come to Ireland?
You see, I saw Ireland to be very peaceful, and back home I was having some challenges, 1 or 2 challenges. And when I came to Glasgow too, it's like I own school fees, and the university too is threatening me that they is reporting me to the UKVI, so they take me home. And back home too, I have a problem. So when they take home, it's either I'm going to be like before then I had so many threats back home to be killed due to 1 or 2 reasons.
Right, and did you so you did it through school? You applied for the language school, was it in Scotland? What school did you apply to?
I was doing electrical and electronics engineering at the University of Glasgow.
Right, and then you flew from Glasgow to Belfast Airport and then took a bus down.
Yes.
And then came here yesterday.
Yes.
Right. No, that's perfect. And what's your full name?
Richard Coffey.
Right, perfect, Richard. Thank you.
Welcome.
It's frozen.
Wow. Now there you go. That's only one. You know what I mean? How many came with him? Like I've been told that Belfast train, that there's a Belfast train in every hour on the hour. Like that's probably 10 trains, 12 trains a day. If there's 100 of them on a train, like lads, do the maths here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't know who's coming in here. You know what I mean? We really don't.
So we wait another year, and then that's it. Have you noticed everyone around 70 is dropping dead? Have you noticed all the people? Have you noticed that? They're all
a lot
dropping
of
dead.
people. Yeah.
I know loads and loads and loads and loads of people that are just around the 70 mark. Gone.
Yeah.
It's just unreal. In the last, it's been going on, but it's very prevalent now. I won't even put on the radio. The boys say you're going to funerals. Like, I could be going to 3 funerals every week. Every week.
Yeah, I've said it as well. So I've been at a lot of them, and I know people who are at them every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every week they're up and down. You know what I mean?
You know, going back 10 or 15 years ago, you'd be going to a funeral like that maybe 3 a year, because people you'd know. But I'm telling you, 3 people a week I'd know. So whereas, lads, it's very serious. It's
No, I agree.
They're fucking. And I suppose a lot of them would have took the 3 or 4 injections.
I know.
That's my cue to jump. That's my cue to jump out there, Paul.
Oh, he's doing a hairman.
Look, I need to head to bed. I'm up early in the morning, so.
Yeah, well, I have a couple more things to do anyway on this, so we have a few more minutes.
I'm going to jump off anyway. Listen, good talking to you. We'll catch up.
Okay, good night, Martin.
Good night, Martin. Cheers, mate. Bye. Grant, I want to just do the git here, okay? This is to cut the money on the elderly.
Yeah.
Government ramps up drive to encourage older people to downsize and bid to ease housing crisis. 2 out of 3 people in Ireland live in under-occupied homes. Average in the EU is 1 in 3. Romania is at the other end of the spectrum with 1 in 20. At least 1.2 unoccupied bedrooms in Ireland according to census. They didn't ask the question in the census for nothing, as the big bad far away far right have been warning everyone for years. They're coming for your property, but they're going to start with the elderly, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. Did you think all these migrants coming into the country are going to stay in prison like dorms for the rest of their lives? The government didn't just invite them here, but they offered them their own home door accommodation, even though we have thousands upon thousands of homeless native Irish. Abdul is going to want a house or 2 for his wives and children, neighbour and their goat. National and local media are going to bombard our elderly with nothing but propaganda. They're going to try and convince them that they're the problem. Look at the poor fake UGs and scammigrants. They're homeless, they need somewhere to go. And I'll tell you, it's going to start with downsizing, but it won't stop there. Cue the dying with dignity bill. It's been sold as it's only for terminally ill people. But then that won't be good enough. And then it'll be for people with chronic pain. And before you know it, we have suicide pods. How progressive. And the propaganda aimed at the elderly people will have continued and progressed. It'll go from you don't need big homes, you need to downsize. You're a huge part of the problem when it comes to the climate climate change. You're a burden on society, and the best thing you can do is die with dignity. And if you think I'm not elderly, I'll be grand. Don't be stupid. They're coming after your property and life too. And they make no secret about it. You'll own nothing, and you'll be happy.
I'm just getting in the comments there. Best case scenario, you'll make them feel terrified and they won't listen. Worst case, you'll make them hate you by pointing out harsh personal truth. That doesn't win votes. Yeah, I do get that. But listen, these vaccine injured people need to be spoke about. You know what I mean? And I'm not just we're not just the only ones saying it. Like if you look here, you can see it. I'll share this out there now.
Well, I'll tell you.
When I seen this today, I thought, Jesus, this is great. This law firm. I feel like an old woman in my body. Law firm lodges 30 compensation claims over alleged COVID-19 vaccine injuries. Solicitor says clients forced to take legal action due to the lack of state compensation. Now, when I seen that today, I was elated. I thought, fair play to this crowd, because I was thinking, this will just take off. If
they'll take on cases.
It'll be like the army deafness thing, you know what I mean? Like
Mm.
your man took like 13 million out of that. He took the first case, and out of all he made 13 million or something. That's no secret. And when I seen this today, I thought happy days. And then what was sent out to the people was, thank you for completing your vaccination instruction sheet. And I am very sorry to learn that you have the medical problems, but you had post-vaccination 2021. Unfortunately, the time limit for pursuing a claim for medical negligence in Ireland is 2 years from the date of vaccination. If you were alleging medical negligence, if you were making a claim for an unsafe product, the time period is 3 years, and unfortunately, you have left it too late, in my opinion, to pursue litigation. Please feel free to take a second opinion if you wish from a different firm of solicitors. So, you know,
So,
what do you think?
yeah, they're all injected since 21, so, yeah, whatever. So that's a non-runner. That man was saying there about vote. I'm a politician. There's not going to be any other votes. Like, 5 years' time, we're finished. 4 years' time, whenever the next voting is around, the game's over. So anyone that thinks we're going to solve this through, even though I'm an elected councillor, we're not going to solve it through the ballot box. You know, we're not going to solve anything. It's unsolvable through the ballot box, because when they control the media, the people are just going to vote for Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil. They'll vote left now to take them out. So left and really they'll throw everything at you. Imagine Murphy and your man. What's your man? Little boy
Richard
Barrett, I call him. Yeah, whatever.
Richard Barrett, yeah.
Yeah, Richard Boy Barrett. Yeah, and then you'll have Sinn Féin, like, and Labour, and that Social Democrat mob. You know, like no hope. That's who will be in. This won't be solved through the ballot box. The only way this will be solved, we take the power back, and we have to take it back. We're not going to win over votes. We're not going to do right. Yeah, you're right. You could, if you had a long-term plan, if you had 20 years to solve this, you would calm down and you would say, yeah, let's do it that way. But there's no, we don't have time. Time's not on our side. Time is not anything but time is on our side. You know, run about Shinadine and all that. We nearly wanted to stop everybody coming into the country. At the airports, at the ports, be up at Belfast or whatever. They left that back door open for a reason. That was all done on purpose. Everything is pre-done. They left that. So you won't have, nobody has to show. I went to Scotland, was it last year or the year before? And I remember I was up in Naas and I was driving, we had to drive to Belfast to go to Scotland on the boat. And I says, Jesus, I forgot the passport, I better go back. I went back, got them, picked them up, and it took us about another 45 minutes or whatever on the journey. And when I got up to Belfast, I took out, he said, you don't need them. I said, look, I'm here in the Republic of Ireland or whatever. Go on, get on there. Don't be holding up the traffic. Exact same when I was coming back. I says, you have a passport. Look, move. I say move, he says. I don't want to look at that. I don't need to look at that. So that's been open for 2 years up there. All that backstop and all that shit that we're going on with, that's all done on purpose. Leaving the back door open, it's done on purpose. The new well, if we did kick up enough of a storm that stopped them at Dublin Airport or whatever, they'd let them in through Belfast. So it's all pre-planned. Everything is pre-planned. The only way we can solve this is very quick. Definitely in the next 4 to 6 months, we do it. The people do it, and we go, as I say, and we say we want our country, we want this solved, or else we just accept it and do as Martin says, head off into a little garden in Ireland. But you see, he's under the illusion that you're going to be down in Westport or somewhere, and you're going to be grand.
We'll all be the same. We'll all be the same.
You're going to be down in fucking Westport, and you won't be able to buy anything. You won't be able to get diesel. You're going to have a chip in your hand or wherever, and that's the way. It's the mark of the beast is coming, and we're nearly there at the mark of the beast. And that's what it's going to be. You're going to be totally controlled. And you step out of line, they'll have you on camera, and that's it. So you'll revolt then in 5 years' time or 4 years' time, whenever they have this fully in, when they have us totally outnumbered, and then you try to kick up, you have no chance. You have a little chance now. You got 100, 120, 130,000 on the street at the one time and say, we're not going fucking home. We're camping in. We're not going back. There's nothing to go back to. Living down in Mayo or living down in Sligo, living in Galway in a little farm, you're not going to be left alone. You're not going to be left alone. It's not going to happen. Yeah.
Well, as I said earlier, people need to stop complying. It's as simple as that. Stop going along with everything. Start saying no. Simple as the more of us stand up and say no. That's how you stop things.
I'm gonna play the Garden Remembrance video. Tom, I'll drop you down. Do you want to go on there? Because I'm just gonna play the video and finish up. What do you want to say about the Garden Remembrance on Saturday? Everyone be there or be square.
Yeah, everyone needs to be at the Garden Remembrance Saturday. Everyone. And you got to be on your best behaviour. Everyone, be ready. Have your phones on all the time. They'll probably try to agitate. They'll be doing something, whatever. Just be nice and cool. Have your cameras on all the time. Be on your best behaviour. They'll try and engage you in bullshit or whatever. But this one needs to be a big one, lads. Everyone needs to get out. Everyone. Your country's at stake. The whole lot's at stake. Your children, your grandchildren, the whole lot is at stake. If we can't get the 15, 20,000 Saturday, we're gone. That's it. Okay, good night. Best of luck to everyone. See you Saturday.
Talk to you later. See you Saturday. Yeah. Bye. Well, Orla, I'm going to play it there and we'll finish up then, okay?
What? Don't forget to put up the numbers.
The numbers are at, 1,200 we're at there. 12:30 or something. Yeah.
Good.
So, yeah, we've done well.
That's good.
Thanks. People are giving Tom a big thumbs up there in the whole lot. Yeah. Good night, Tom. Good night,
well,
Tom.
He takes no nonsense, Tom. So fair play to him. He speaks his mind.
He does. See you in a sec. Yeah.
Sarah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll just play it and we'll come back then, right? And we'll finish up. Everyone saying how great the show was. This is brilliant. Fair play to everyone. Thanks very much. Davina, phone number.
Actually, Paul, just before we go, can you play that video? It's only a couple of seconds because this is what's coming to a town near you. It's the one from France. Because this is a reason for people to come out on Saturday, because this is what's coming.
Yeah, is that? Yeah, I see it here. Jesus, yeah, we play.
Yeah, it's only a couple of seconds.
Yeah, it's only 40 seconds. Yeah.
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 That's what they think. And look at, if you look in the background, you can see all the smoke as well. So they set fires to things. But like, you think about it, this was Paris. Like, it's a huge tourist city, and they just
is
don't
a
care.
shithole.
Yeah,
Paris,
but they've
hold
turned
on,
it into
hold
that.
on.
They've turned it into it.
Dublin is a shithole as well. They've turned Dublin into one of the worst capital cities in Europe. It's there's only certain streets in Dublin that you don't walk down. You know what I mean? I'm from Dublin. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to fall out of pubs in anywhere in this country, and you'd be grand. You know what I mean? Now you fall out of a pub now, and you're getting into rows with God knows who. You know what I mean? For bumping off them, or for, you know, it's just Johnny Apocalypse there. Paris has
But we're
fallen.
behind Paris. Like, we haven't even got to their level yet.
Oh, how are you, Ginty? Night, God bless. Take it easy, mate. The church opened. Church in Donegal was beautiful, and nothing on the news about it. Nothing on the news about anything like that. You know what I mean? France has been overrun since the 70s. Yeah. Many thanks, Paul, Orla, Tom, Martin. Good night, all. Thanks, John. Thanks for tuning in. Paris is a war zone. You're telling me. And SS Fort Rikers, blamers, yahoos, more than machete wielding murderous lot. That's obviously, we know who that is. But hey, let's not worry about it. We shouldn't have went up. In Galway, a woman was attacked, no mention on the radio. There's been so much attacks, no mention of it. It's happening all over the country. And this is why I'm going to say it to you again, people. If you're part of these attacks, if you can see this happening, you need to get to Dublin on the 26th on Saturday at 2 p.m. to the Garden of Remembrance. We'll be there. Everyone will be there. This is going to be epic, people. Now, they've already have a counter protest down the road, but we'll worry about that at the time. You know what I mean? We have the numbers. We are the majority here. They tell us we're not the majority here. I'm going to actually play this because this one just gets on my tits, right? This is Cllr Clarkson when you hear this.
Oh. Guys, just a word of warning. If you are planning to go to the protest in Dublin next Saturday, organised by the Fooligans, it could end up like the Dublin riots of 2023. I would just advise anybody with small children, please don't bring them into it. And if you're somebody who doesn't want to get caught up in the madness that was the Dublin riots, I would say avoid it at all costs. The Fooligans are arranging it, and there is a lot of infighting between them. They're all trying to look a little bit more powerful. They're making a lot of kind of awful comments towards each other, never mind anybody else. I just say, unless you're prepared to get involved in the madness we saw in Dublin before, stay well away. Just stay well away.
Oh, I love the way she says the madness in Dublin, the Dublin riots, the madness in Dublin. Really, nothing to mention about what caused the Dublin riots, as in the children being stabbed. And people seem to forget that that is what caused it, because children were stabbed.
Yeah, I know. It's disgraceful. But they're all at it, you know what I mean? They turn around and she says that. Yeah, she won't tell you that a guy stabbed 3 kids and a teacher, you know? And it wasn't, and they tried to blame Ferg Power, they tried to blame Conor McGregor, they tried to blame Gavin Pepper. Lads who just called to go into a protest. Come on, lads, we need to go. Listen, I was here. I didn't cop it until later on. And then the kids asked me not to go in. That's why I didn't go in, because it was all over the internet. You know what I mean? At this stage. But like, I could have been one of them. You know what I mean? I could have been in there. Stuff happened in there that shouldn't have happened. Okay, I get that. But they don't tell you that the riots, that 13 or 18 of them or something out of the 100, that was there, probably more. I think there was only 18 Irish. I think the rest were all foreigners
Yeah, we
that
saw
were
the
in them
videos. Yeah,
pictures. Like
yeah.
them, like
They were
they
out
were
looting.
foreigners.
Yeah,
You
they
know
were
what I mean?
looting.
They're not telling you about that. You know what I mean? So Claire Clarkson, you're as well sticking to to what you do. You talk about tax and how to fiddle the system and how you get this and how you get that. This is the same woman who was on a few weeks ago talking about these new homes for your back garden, that you can put these in your back garden. She has to be in the know here, because the next week they brought in this law that you can actually put something in your back garden again. So, you know, I'm not buying this with
I
these
don't watch
people.
her.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't watch her either. I used to watch her when she was when she used to do the tax things and the this and the that and whatever, you know. But once you start talking shy about nationalists and hooligans, and she's a nobody, you know what I mean? With her thousands of leading followers, bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
So what's that? Yep. Okay, for sure. Right, Orla, tell us about Saturday. You're coming Saturday, so
I'll be there to make you look good, Paul.
thank you very much. I'll drop you down there for a minute and I'll finish up. Well, people, we're at the end of the night again there. Never mind any kids got stabbed in Dublin. I didn't hear it on the radio unless it was an Irishman that did it. Yeah, that's it. Johnny Apocalypse. I remember the response of the government and the media of incident, and a man and a foreign hero. Yes, I remember it too. You know what I mean? There was a media blackout on that. There was a D notice put on that because there was nothing got out. Nothing got out. Phones were confiscated and the whole lot. Good night, people. We're on the right side of history. Yes, we are. Manson Lamps, Manic. Good night, folks. Good night, John. I was for Ain 2, not anymore. I was for Sinn Féin, not anymore. Join us. It's a peaceful assembly on Saturday. Don't raise your hands or voices near Gardaí. Exactly. I'll echo it as well. And good night, everyone. Okay. Remember, for Radcliffe calling for Irish men, thugs and hooligans. Yes, we're all thugs and hooligans now. Listen, thank you very much for everyone that tuned in tonight there. If you can buy us a coffee, do buy us a coffee. If you can't, don't worry about it. But yeah, as I said, we've 1232 watching there at the end. And fair play to everyone that tuned in. As I say every night, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. You just let it loose and it will defend itself. Good night. God bless.